Great. Hi, everyone. This is the Care Plan meeting on Betty Peterson. We're just waiting on Rec to come in. He's usually a little late. He's running behind. It's early in the morning. So for Betty Peterson, I had a discharge date for this week, but I know she has had an incident earlier, like 2 days ago, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you guys wanted to do with the discharge date. Did you want to move it? Like, how do you think she's doing?
I think it needs to get pushed back about 2 to 3 weeks.
I would say 2. We'll start her off at 2.
All right.
Okay.
And I think that will help, especially with you. You could give her more therapy.
Yeah.
And I knew, like, what was going on with her in therapy? She hasn't been leaving her room.
No, yeah. So after the fall, she's become reluctant. So I'm keeping, like, a log of everything that we're doing. Because she was in the wheelchair when she first did come here from the hospital. And then we started, doing exercises in the wheelchair. Then I got her with the walker. And then she felt comfortable enough that she wanted to try with the cane. And that's where we were kind of starting it out. But then once she had the fall.
Okay, and then do we have a bed alarm in place?
She doesn't, but no, she doesn't. But I did want to put that in place.
We'll add that to the care card.
So what exactly happened during the fall? Like, how did they all happen? Because it didn't really get to my department yet.
My CNAs said that it was around 9:30.
Yep.
They heard Betty, crying, begging for help, yada yada. She was on the floor, holding her knee in the bathroom, and her walker was still by her bed, wasn't touched. So I think either she just forgot to take the walker, or she thought she could do it by herself.
Yeah.
And then she must have fell. She must have got a little confused, disoriented.
Yeah.
And then, you have to take the walker,
Right.
Yeah, they have to understand that's important. Yeah, I had gone up to talk to her after the whole fall incident happened. I didn't get any details. I just wanted to check in with her and make sure she was okay. She said that she was doing okay. She seems a little, like, down and everything, but her roommate's there for her, so I think that's really important that they have that bond.
Roommate's a sweet lady.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that they always, whenever we have activities, they always come together. That's a big thing. And I've noticed that one of her favorite games is bingo. She loves to play bingo and cards as well. And we also we bake goods for them, and she loved the brownies I made for her. And yeah, I know usually before I come, and right before I come to pick her up, the intern is in there coloring with her most of the time and stuff like that,
Yeah.
So that's just like it's good for her.
Yeah, that's your intern?
Yeah, I actually am just starting to send my intern up there. So I was going to talk to the mother about it. So.
Alright, well everyone signs in. I'll get Donna. So you can take a seat right here. Thank you. You're welcome.
Good morning, everybody.
Good
Morning.
So I'm Donna,
Nice to
and
meet you. Kelsey, the nurse.
Betty's mother, daughter.
I'm Marquette. Right.
Hi, Marquette.
Deanna, I'm from the social work
Hi,
department.
Dana.
Danielle, physical therapy.
Hi, Danielle.
We met before. So do you have any questions or concerns?
Well, my mother fell, so I would like to know a little bit more about that. They just told me that she fell. They didn't really explain why or like how it happened.
Did you want me to touch on that or?
She doesn't really remember.
So it happened during the 3 to 11 shift. It was around 9:30, 2 days ago. And while she went to get up to go to the bathroom, and I don't know if she wanted to try, because we have been doing the walker, and then she just started with the cane because she was feeling more stable and her balance definitely improved. So I don't know if she wanted to try just with the cane, and then, because sometimes at night she still had been going to, getting up with the walker at night. So I don't know if she tried to go with the cane and then she slipped, or I'm not really sure as far as that, but when they did find her on the floor, she didn't have the walker or the cane, so I don't know, she was just, from getting up out of bed.
And in my CNAs, they found her She was holding her knee. We did a full examination on her. Nothing was broken. Bruises here and there. I think the most she was just shaken up about it. And then we had the social services come into place the day after, talk to her. So overall she is fine. She is just a little reluctant to do physical therapy, and this is very important for her to do the physical therapy because we have a discharge date coming up. We had to push it back. Actually, we're hoping for 2 weeks. That's our goal.
If she's not okay in 2 weeks, then we can push it back even further.
We might have to look at long term, but we are hoping for 2 weeks.
So with that, every Thursday, my department actually teams up with a couple other, and we do meetings to talk about every single client within our facility. And during the time, we talk about discharge dates and everything like that. So right now, we can have a tentative date for about 2 weeks, if that's okay with you, so you can get everything in order. I know it's kind of like sprung upon you just because of the fall, but we can reconvene. I can call you. Any one of us that has the update can call you and tell you how we feel after this coming Thursday, and after we reassess her, what date would be closest, what date would be best.
Right. Yeah.
Okay?
In the rec department, I see how she interacts very well with everyone. I haven't had a problem with her at all. And she's very close to her roommate, and she loves to play bingo. That's the one thing.
I know.
You took her to the casino? Did you take her to the casino?
No.
No.
She went on her own.
No, she always goes. I was unaware she didn't tell me this. That's good though. And every time before I get her, I always see the intern in there, and she is always coloring with her. I even stopped by one time and was coloring with her and her roommate, and we hang her posters on the bulletin, and sometimes we may put it in our rec activities directory.
I saw that. She
Yeah.
seems to really enjoy that.
Yeah.
They're all over her walls, so I think it helps her keep her mind busy here.
It does. It definitely keeps her.
Yeah.
It keeps her mind going too. That's like a major thing in nursing homes is to keep a positive mindset. And she's doing well.
It actually
Your mother's
reminds
great.
me, she seems to be like a little more forgetful than I remembered her being when she was at home. So
Recently, I had just gone up to do a little mini mental with her. It's just annually. So when I went up, I had noticed that her score has gone down by a couple points, and what that means is that she is starting to get a little weary with her memory. I don't know if it's because the fall that she's shooken up, or what it's what the reasoning behind it is. At this age, you start to see some sort of decline. So, but it has been relatively quick because she's only been here for about 2 weeks, so to see that much of a decline in that weeks is a little alarming for us. So one thing I can offer is to have psych come in and talk to her, and then they can further evaluate her. If that's something you guys would be interested in, I could do that.
I
Yeah,
think that'd be a good idea,
All
just in
right.
case.
Yeah,
to make
just-
sure.
yeah, definitely.
We all think it is because of the fall, the little
Yeah.
setback. So we are hopeful that it'll just over time she will regain, which she will. She's very resilient.
And along with the discharge date that we had touched upon earlier, prior to discharge, we have to have, if physical therapy, does she have anything in the home already, like wheelchairs or walkers? That way we know, in my department, what we should
Right.
be looking out to get scripts for.
At home, I just have a walker, and then in the bathroom, I have little handles in the shower just so she can
Okay.
just get in. But besides that, that's the only things I have.
Is it a step up shower or is it walk in?
It's a walk-in, but we
Okay.
still have the bars on the wall
Yeah.
just in case.
Give a seat. Is there a way to put a seat in the shower?
Sure. I'm not sure where I would get that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
can
can.
definitely help you with that.
And I would say, can you note too for something for the toilet too? Yeah.
Also, what type of flooring do you have in the house?
Wood.
Wood. All right. So I think the best thing would do is to take all of the carpets, little rugs
Mm-hmm.
out.
Yeah.
It's a slipping hazard, and if she were to even the walker get caught on the rug,
It's a good idea. I didn't
Yeah.
think of that.
And since she is a fall risk, is what we would call her right now, I was just wondering if you would be home, like how often you'd be home with her, because we are going to recommend some like at-home services.
Right.
So like I was just wondering how often you'll be home, so we can recommend how often the services should be in place.
Well, me and my husband both work. I get out earlier than he does, but for the majority of the day, during the weekday, he can't really be there.
Okay. Have you guys had any home care services previously? No. Do you guys have any like preference as to one that would matter?
Well, just someone to come and stay with her when no one's there would be
Yeah.
nice.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But I haven't worked with anybody, so
All
I'm
right.
not sure.
And also in my department, I actually had one of my interns come in and start visiting her since the fall, just to
I
keep
think
her.
she mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah, just to keep her more like oriented and everything. Just because it's important. Because like Rec was saying, she is really involved and loves the community of
She
it.
loves to talk too.
Yeah, so it's always good because she is a little hesitant to come out of her room and get out of bed and everything. So I have my intern going in there. She's kind of just like a friendly visitor. She just goes up, talks, sees how she's doing. If any concerns are brought up in their meeting, she always brings it back to me. So, but as of right now, she seems to be enjoying the company, and they do some recreation stuff like the painting and stuff that he was saying. So, yeah, so that's
Good.
something we have put into place. Other than that, I think everything looks good from my department.
Yeah, your mom is in good health. Besides the fall, nothing alarming is popping out to us, which is good. We like to see that. We are gonna really be very vigilant with her, especially at night, because she does like to get up. She's very independent. She has to get used to a little change. So we'll watch her. We're actually gonna put a bed alarm, so if she does get up, we can be more proactive with her, and I think that will help significantly. And I think you shouldn't be worried about anything.
She's in good hands.
Yes.
I think she's just having a little bit of a hard time,
Yeah.
letting some of her freedom go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She used to do everything by herself at home. Like, she didn't need help from me at all.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely a big change.
Well, we're working with her now to like get her back to that state as well, as close as we can before discharge. So that's
Right.
something to look forward to.
And it can be pushed back if she's not.
Yep, like I said,
Absolutely.
we'll convene after this meeting we
Okay.
have on Thursday about all that stuff.
And as she slowly starts to recover, I will be going back into the room and bring her down to activities. So we want to make sure she keeps her mind.
Yeah, I've been starting to go in the room and do little mini like therapy things in her room with her to get her, getting up, even if, she walks through the door and back or something like that, but just to get her getting up on her leg, walking up on her legs again.
She could be a little stubborn, but
Yeah.
if you're persistent enough,
Yeah, that's what I've been
Yeah.
noticing. So I am keeping like a log, because the last couple of days she has been reluctant, but once she, I think she's still a little shooken up, but I think
Yeah.
that once.
yeah, I think she's
She
still
gets
scared
going.
that she's gonna fall again. But I keep reassuring her that staff here is wonderful and that she'll be
Yeah.
okay.
And also to make a note, I don't know, do you want a wheelchair too, just in case at home?
Is she using one here?
She has been here, but I mean, since she was in the walker and stuff, we haven't been using it. But I mean, I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure. How do you
I
guys
think we'll
feel?
talk about that in 2 weeks and see how much progress she's made.
Yeah,
And then we'll
because we can always
Stuff
add
in
it to the
detail.
order
Maybe for,
if
like,
needed.
Yeah.
If I have to take her like out somewhere, a wheelchair, I'd feel more comfortable with her in a wheelchair than her walking on her own.
Yeah.
Especially with the winter months coming up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. With insurance though, I know that they only cover some things. So if we need multiple equipment, that only some will be covered by insurance. So if it's okay, we'll get your permission once we decide
Right.
what we do need. That way we can tell you what's going to be the
Okay.
expense.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah.
How are you? I know it's stuff like this with nursing homes and parents being sick, it's hard on the family. Right? How are you doing?
It's stressful, but my mother is in somewhat good spirits about it, and I think that definitely helps me feel more comfortable about it, because if she was like upset and like a mess, then I would be upset. So
How do you feel about her coming back home to live with you guys? Do you feel like that's an extra burden on you? Her
a
being
little
there?
bit of a burden, but I'll feel a lot better with her at home, and I can see her every day, and my
Yeah.
kids miss her, and So I think she'll definitely, there's no place like home. I think
Yeah.
she'll do a lot better at home.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you so much.
well, thank you guys for
Thank
working
you.
with my
Thank you.
mother.
No
She
problem.
really appreciates it, and I do too.
Yeah, well, we hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
All right.
All right,
Bye.
Nice
bye.
meeting you, Josh. Nice meeting you.
She
Alright.
was so nice.
Yeah, she was nice. So pretty much,
That's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Good meeting.
We should watch this.
If we could redo the intro, please, when I called her mom.
no, it's okay.
No, it's really okay.
No, it's
That was
fine.
funny.
I was like.